Hello, Council. My name is Alex. I am a musical theater teacher here in Flower Mound. I live at 6969 Hershey Highway. And I just want to say that this is my favorite month of the year. And it's the best month of the year because it's the only month where it's okay to be gay. And that's what I try to tell my students that are, challenged by coming out of the closet, by some of the ridicule and humiliation that they, get from their peers. So I wrote a little song about this month and why it's so special to me. So if you guys want to sing along, you guys are welcome to sing along. I know that guy wants to sing along. So this is for you. It's okay to be gay. It's the month after May. Do it for the human race. The big square mother get dick in your face. Do it for HIV awareness. Do it for okay for the illness. I love all of my gay brothers, even if you had abusive mothers. They're all gays. Yes, we aren't. You can drive in gays. For Subaru is gay. Chevy is gay. Hyundai is gay. Kia is gay. Everyone is gay. The NFL is gay. The NBA is gay. Major League Baseball is gay as well. What can I say? It's okay. It's a month after May. It's okay to be gay. It's the month after May. Sesame Street is gay. Pedro Pascal is gay. Taylor Swift is gay. Kanye is gay as well. Samsung is gay. Disney is gay. Coca-Cola is gay. Target is gay. Huntsville Park is also really gay. Spirit Airlines is also gay. Delta Airlines is also gay. Zelensky is also gay. Gary Walt is really gay. Yes, he needs to adopt your baby. I know to be so gay. It is my favorite day. Times gay is the month. June is so gay. I don't give a gay. It's okay to be gay. You is for the human race. God is home. I can get a dick in your face. I love gay pride. I love you, mayor. God bless America. Gay rights. Don't get me gay. I love you. It's okay. You can be gay. You can be gay. I know you're gay.
All right, we have
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we have a very special episode for you guys. We have iconic comedian from gangster to godly. You can see him in Plano, Texas at Mic Drop Comedy Spot this weekend, the one, the only, Shayne Smith. Shayne, welcome to the Blimp. I saw you watching that video, and it made me audibly and visibly uncomfortable watching you be uncomfortable. So I've never seen a person cringe more than I think I saw you cringe.
I didn't understand what was going to happen, and then it just kept going. It was incredible.
It was
How do you
bad.
memorize it?
I didn't memorize any of that. I was just making that up as I went. I was just
freestyle.
That was freestyle. I mean, I had written on a sheet of paper, put Samsung is gay, Spirit Airlines is gay, but I kind of didn't know. I mean, I'm not talented at much, but one thing when it comes to rhyming, and I'm not saying that those rhymes were that good. I feel like I'm above average at, if that makes sense.
That was your 8 Mile moment right there.
Not even close.
Crazy.
Shayne, not even close. That was one of my worst ones. I did a song Insane for the Ukraine, the most viral rap song at a city council meeting. It got played everywhere. Vladimir Putin, as a matter of fact, they covered it in Russia because it was so popular.
Oh, wait.
You saw it. You
Oh,
probably
dude.
saw it. It was like this most viral video. I was at this Plano City Council meeting. I'm go insane for Ukraine, put a bullet in Putin's brain. It's long story short, it's damn near 3 years old, but yes.
Wait, Alex, tell them you sang a 3-minute gay Cowboys for Kamala song. 3 minutes
Yes,
off the
I
top of his
did.
head.
You did 3
A lot. Have you noticed we talk a lot about, Jimmy, I'm noticing a trend. We talk a lot about gay songs and a lot about big booty Latinas, I've noticed.
Two fun things.
Two great things. you
Ricky
know?
Martin.
And he's both. you
And
know?
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. He's the chosen one.
He really is. And when it comes to music, though, Livin' La Vida Loca, I don't know how old you are, I don't want to age you, but that song, I mean, it was not just iconic, but it changed the whole culture of society. Livin' La Vida Loca. Do you remember the Livin' La Vida Loca?
And that was
era?
around the time everyone started getting a specific tattoo called the party dots. The Vida Loca, the party dots.
What are the parties? Is that the three dots? Yeah, the three dots.
Yeah, that's the La Vida Loca, My Crazy Life.
No, that's what
these
that
dots
stands
stands
for?
for. Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
my gosh. Because
You got to get them.
I don't have any tattoos. And you have a lot of tattoos. Are you worried because now you are a Christian? Doesn't it say in the Bible that you're going to burn in hell for forever for getting those?
No. I'm Catholic.
Jimmy, does it say that in the Bible? Jimmy's our Bible scholar. Does it say that, Jimmy?
Some very literalist interpretations say that, but general consensus is no.
Okay. What do you take the literal consensus or the general?
No.
I don't think that it should bar you. I don't think it should bar you, but honestly, what if you got a tattoo that said like a satanic tattoo? Does that bar you?
That bars you.
Dude, that's
And
what I'm saying.
I had
Do
satanic
you think
tattoos.
you did? So you
I
do think
did.
so? Like a tattoo of like a flower, that's not bad. But do you think that if God sees the flower tattoo and then all of a sudden he sees a 666 tattoo, it's different, right?
Yeah, huge bummer. Or pagan stuff.
Yeah, and that is a big part of like the kind of culture, like the 666, the devil horns. You know why is the tattoo culture and kind of occultism and demonic stuff? Why is that kind of?
Because tattoo culture is downstream from gang and prison culture, and all popular culture is downstream from prison culture.
Well, that's what they say sagging is from. So can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about your backstory? Because Shayne is a national touring comedian, but you weren't always a successful popular comedian. At one point, you were a gangster drug addict. Is that correct? I mean,
I wasn't a drug addict,
Okay,
but when I was a young man, I did drugs. I stopped that very young. But so thank you. Yeah, let's go on sobriety. But so I didn't start comedy until I was like almost 29.
See, that's late for a lot of people.
It's super crazy
Yeah,
late to
yeah.
start your career. So for the rest of that time, when I was a young man, my stepfather was the sergeant at arms of a motorcycle club. I was in rural, middle of nowhere, like Wyoming, Utah type thing. So I was involved in crime. Is what we'll say, to be very vague.
Well, no, let's be extra vague though, because this is what's crazy to me is that you're saying that you grew up in Utah,
Yes.
which Utah is a very white area,
Very
right?
white.
Very
This is
white.
motorcycle clubs.
These are motorcycle clubs, so these are not your typical street Crips and Blood gang, right?
Street gangs are more like the cultural component is more important than the like work component. Very few people in a street gang are making any real money, and it's not organized. You're just making
It's more like
your money.
protection kind of.
Yes,
just trying to be a
You're
part
just
of
a
the
loose
club,
affiliated group, and you don't follow the law. And when you need help, you can count on these guys. I was involved in like organized crime.
Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah. So that's like robbing. This would be like hypothetically in Minecraft.
This is hypothetically in Minecraft, and we're just
If I-
speculating. This is not real. We're just talking about a fantasy in a video game right now.
This would be like in a video game if my fantasy was to do my very first robbery. It would be like a tester robbery, and maybe the clerk at like a store would know that someone was going to come in when he was changing the...
Ooh, I like this inside job robbery. I love inside jobs.
When he's changing out the money and he knows he's going to get robbed.
Jimmy, right now, go to QT.com and apply for a job at Quick Trip right now, Jimmy.
On it.
And 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven where Damien works at. I hate that manager, the 7-Eleven on Lover's Lane. Apply to work there right now. So in a video game, you know the clerk. See, I didn't even think about it. You can know the clerk.
That most bank robberies, someone working there is involved. So you're there, they know, and so they've been paid like a couple $100 or whatever, and you work at a gas station, you do meth.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
so you don't, I'll take $200. You promise me the guy won't shoot me in the face? Yeah. And so then you show up in Minecraft and you go, hey, give me the money. He already knows he's going to get robbed.
He knows it's not going to be. He knows it's not going to be dangerous.
Exactly. So you get the money now. He takes his little cut for later on. He doesn't call the cops very soon. You get away. The guys who paid you to do that robbery go, give me the money. Here's your cut. Wow, very interesting. You paid us the money for the information that we gave you to make the robbery good. How would you like to do that again? And that happens again and again and again. The next thing you know, you're kidnapping people and robbing drug dealers.
And I don't know why you ever quit this. It sounds like the perfect crime. Why would you quit this lifestyle? It sounds beautiful.
Most people who live this lifestyle have to go to prison at some point.
And is that bad, though? You were just talking about how everything is downstream from prison. And I mean, isn't that, it sounds like...
You're right, but there's no women in prison. And if you're white and you're in prison and you're in a gang, now you may have to murder some people. You're going to have to put things in your butt to help people. You're going to have to, but you are going to get buff.
Yeah, you're going to get jacked up.
Cool. You're going to get jacked up with the boys. No one to stop you from making cool lists together or having great conversations.
And I love great conversations.
A lot of time to read.
And I'm not going to be reading. I mean, hopefully they have the internet in there, right? They have Twitter, at least?
No. But maybe, let's see, if you're in a gang, you might have access to a phone. If you're not in a gang, you're not going to have access to a phone.
I would definitely have an illegal phone. Jimmy, for some reason, my computer's plugged in. It's not turning on. I have no idea, so I can't see that Quick Trip thing. But yes, I want you to apply for the clerk at Quick Trip if you can do that.
Okay, yeah, there's a clerk opening in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's a long commute.
Even better. That's even better. A different state, so we can just come back home. They're not even going to know. So this is the perfect crime. And this is all in a video game on Minecraft, so I don't want to give you guys any ideas or anything. This is all fantasy role play LARPing. Okay, what is SOT number 1, though? The Aryan Brotherhood accountant, Jimmy. Can you explain this, or can you
let's let Shayne explain it.
Yeah, Shayne, can you give us a backstory?
Yeah. So I am of Jewish descent.
You said that, or you said it to me off camera, so the camera does not.
Yeah. The camera didn't know.
They did not know.
So I didn't grow up religiously Jewish, but my mother was adopted by a Jewish family to a non-Jewish family. So I found out I was Jewish, whatever, and so. People would often tell me that I look like a white power guy.
Yeah, I would say so. You look like American History X.
I got glasses I wear sometimes, and I look nerdy, and I have like a nerdy affect.
I mean, wait, time out. You do kind of have a nerdy affect, and I'm not calling you a nerd at all. But you have a face tattoo, so of course aren't they going to all... I mean, isn't it kind of hard to have the nerdy vibe with the face tattoo, right?
I guess, but here's the thing. People get, like, viscerally angry if you say you were if you say you were a tough thing and they don't perceive you as being that. Like, if someone says, I was a Navy SEAL...
Wait, I mean, people don't think you look tough. You look
tough.
People
do not think I look tough.
Oh,
people all the time are like,
this
guy wasn't a gang member. This guy's some kind of... I also think... A lot of it is that I hang out with a lot of dudes who are much bigger than me, so I look small all the time.
Yeah, but a lot of that, too, is where people have this, like, open-ended thing where they just think they can kick everybody's ass until they actually go out and box somebody and, like, actually fight. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm a fighting expert, but I've fought a guy that's smaller than me that, you know, we went toe-to-toe. So I guess my point is, if you've never actually kicked somebody's ass, you think you can kick anybody's ass.
It's very real. Or if you beat someone up in middle school. But adult fighting is way different.
It is way different.
It's scary. It's not good. You don't want to be adult fighting. Also, I think that there's a certain amount of just stuff people say online, like, because I got in trouble at one point.
But are you insecure? Do you not think that you look tough enough, Shayne? Because I'm just telling you, you look tough enough, dude. I mean,
I'm not worried about how tough I do or don't look, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know, I'm pretty nerdy. I play a lot of Warhammer.
I've seen your clips. I remember the first time I saw one of your clips, you were at some big theater, and I think you did have your glasses on. But yeah, I definitely looked at this guy. I'm like, yeah, this guy might stab me too. I mean, in a good way.
Yeah,
you know, tell me a joke and stab me at the same time. So.
And I get some of that. There are, people who don't want to stand next to me on the train or whatever. I like it.
That's what I like it too. See, I like that you got a little edge. You know, we're all too cookie cutter. And the fact that you're a one-of-one creation, there's a million people probably like me with no tattoos, but there's not one other person that is the same combination that you have. You have the uniqueness of a fingerprint.
Okay, I appreciate that. I think that you're unique as well, but...
Well, I'm mentally ill, so my uniqueness is
your uniqueness
different.
is incredibly specific.
Very specific, and that's, high-functioning autism. But, okay, back to the story. Aryan Brotherhood, so they think that you are a Nazi.
So people will say, you're a Nazi or whatever, and then I always joked, like, well, I'm Jewish lineage. I look like an accountant for the Aryan Brotherhood.
I like that. Okay,
there you go.
Let's watch SOT number 1. We kind of stepped on the joke, but let's watch it.
My look is not ideal in 2023, I'll tell you that. I live in a Hasidic neighborhood. I'm a Jewish man. but I look like an accountant for the Aryan Brotherhood, okay?
That's true.
I'm trying to speak Hebrew with my neighbors, and they're like, no, dude, just be racist regular. Don't. Well, dude, we don't want you, dude. Go do the other thing. It's cool with us. You get the pass.
Dude, I mean, it's funny because I wrote and performed that joke before converting to Christianity. I do the other thing now.
Yeah.
I took their advice.
Well, there you go. But what's so funny about that, how can you watch that and not think that guy looks like he's going to murder you? I mean, I see that man, and you definitely look hardcore, like American History X, literally right there.
I will say with the shaved head and the mustache, that's a little bit of a vibe.
Dude, you look like a white supremacist. And look at that. That is white supremacy embodiment right there. If we could just put it all together. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is not good. And this is, I can already tell that this is not.
A photo.
We
We're
gotta
live
take
right
a
now.
photo.
Dave Landau, Quarter Black Garrett.
We just have to do this real quick.
Okay, guys, you know, Dave Landau, prima donna, of course. You know, he has to come here during, you know, at his time. This is his studio. Dave.
We've done it. We did it.
Dave, off camera, Dave was.
Oh, I missed you guys.
I just want to say, Dave Landau was just denying the Holocaust. If anybody's watching this, and Quarter Black Garrett said the Holocaust is fake. I would never say that. It's very rude.
We don't know all the information.
The Holocaust is real, Dave. Do not spread that. It was real. 6 million. Well, that was actually a fun interruption. Now, let's play shot number 2. Do not say anything about it, then we'll get your reaction after.
Okay.
Shot number 2, dose.
Recently, I was in a shoe store, and I was just looking at shoes, and a dude comes up to me, and he goes, oh, your face, that's crazy. I can't believe you did that. And then he goes, dude, so what are you, like a tattoo artist? And I was like, no, man, I'm not good at art. And he goes, so just no job? Like there's no other options? So I was like, I can do work. He's like, oh, so what do you do? And I was like, well, technically no job. But still, come on, man. And then he goes, well, if you need any help with anything, you let me know. I was like, you work here? So disrespectful.
I mean, being a comedian's a hard job. Why would you sell yourself short like that?
Dude, I feel like some days I do nothing.
I know, doesn't it feel like that? And I want to say I'm so thankful to work at the Blaze, and I'm so thankful to work for Turning Point and get to speak at colleges. But sometimes I feel like I don't have a job because, you know, I try to explain to people like, what do you do? Somebody that doesn't know me, somebody that knows me, they're kind of like, oh, you're a weird guy on the internet. But somebody that doesn't know me, it's hard to explain like, oh, I host a talk show on the internet. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound real.
It's weird because I do something similar to you. I do stand-up and then I talk at like churches and things.
Yeah.
And so you're like, yeah, it feels like I don't have a job. But on the same card, I'm often embarrassed because I'll do comedy or I'll go out to an event and it will exhaust me socially to the point that I'm like, I was less tired working at a factory. It's embarrassing that when I ran a machine at a factory, I was more alive and felt better and more well-rested. Now that I talk to people for an hour a day, I'm like, I hate this.
I just want to say, I know, I have to cut you off. I want to say I love all of our chat rats, and I'm so sick of the people that say streaming is one of the hardest jobs. I'm not saying streaming is so easy, but you are so right. Getting to do this and going to speak to these colleges and stuff, me working like my car business, at least that was like chill. I could almost do that drunk. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I could like, didn't even have to try.
Right.
At least with this, when it is my dream, and I'm so thankful to get to go meet them, it's so much more taxing and grueling.
Isn't it weird?
You're more tired. But it's a better tired, so it's a much better problem to have.
I'm like embarrassed about it. Sometimes,
yeah, what I'm saying, the reason why we're freaking out is because I'm unemployed, but I'm tired from working. Does that make sense? It's a weird feeling, yes.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. You're like, I'm a jobless loser. Also, I'm very tired.
Yeah, and I work constantly, and I have to constantly have 100 different conversations with 100 different people a day. But yes, I am technically self-employed, which is another word for unemployed. But okay, now let's watch a couple more of these. That joke was very funny. Man, we're not going to watch all your jokes. We don't want to ruin it.
Yeah,
but
I was
guys,
going to say.
you guys, we're not going to go through all of it. We just picked 4 of them that we want to go through. And guys, you're going to be able to see Shayne this weekend in the Dallas area at Mic Drop in Plano. And you're going to be there on Friday night and Saturday?
Mm-hmm. And tonight.
And tonight. Okay, so
no, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What day is it right now?
Today is technically Wednesday, Jimmy. Yes, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Mic Drop, and it's a beautiful club in Plano. It's a safe place. You're not going to get stabbed. You're not going to get shot. So you
That
can't
you know
do
of.
that. Well,
Let's not make promises.
in Plano, though, they don't. I'm actually. That's kind of another place where I sang that song I was talking about, the viral song. I said, "Go insane for the Ukraine, put a bullet in Putin's brain," and Putin. Like I said, they had to react to that, and Russia was a big deal. But Plano, it got voted one of the top cities to live in. But now they're having controversy because a mosque within Plano is now building its own city. What's the city called, Jimmy? Freedom Stand?
I think so.
A new Muslim city is being built by a mosque based in Plano.
They just made up the name. Like, what would an American rename Iraq if he took it over? And they're like, Freedom Stand.
It's like Freedom's. I'm not kidding. I think the name is like Freedom Stand or something, and it's some little town. It's like an hour outside of Dallas.
Oh, it's called Epic City.
Or Epic City.
Epic. I thought you said ethnic city. I was like, that's on the nose, guys. What are we doing here?
A little stinky, but it's gonna be. Some of those spices are good. I like curry. Do you like curry?
Yeah.
You do honestly like it though?
Fine. I I went to a Japanese curry and coffee shop. That was pretty good.
And that is good because my girlfriend, I get the curry at Trader Joe's and I microwave it, and she's like, it smells like a fart, and it kind of does smell like a fart.
I think that's a part of the charm.
That's why it's good. It has a little bit of fart in it. All right, let's play shot number 3.
I live across the street from a 7-Eleven, all right? It's not funny yet, but okay, cool.
When you get a good laugh like that, that's good.
I
You
drink a lot
had
of
him,
Mountain
though.
Dew,
You had
okay?
him.
It's like my only vice. I drink a lot of Mountain Dew. I'm in that 7-Eleven constantly drinking Mountain Dew, okay? Getting refills. I'm in there so often that everyone who works in that 7-Eleven, they have a nickname for me. When they see me, they call me Mountain Dew Guy. Yeah. Do you guys know how much Mountain Dew I have to drink not to have the nickname Throat Tattoo Guy? It is a lot.
And do you drink a lot of Mountain Dew?
Oh, I drink like 2 12-packs a day.
See, I drink the diet soda. I drink
diet, though.
You drink the diet.
Yeah, I do drink
so
diet.
You're like, so you and I are the same, Shane. You're addicted to diet soda. Brandon they can all contest to this or not contest it, whatever, agree with me that I drink about 10 Coke Zeros a day. So,
Yeah.
But you drink the diet
That's
Mountain Dew.
light work. Yeah. That's, I drink Diet Mountain Dew, Diet Dr. Pepper, Diet Coke. Just whatever diet soda I get my hands on, but about 2 12-packs plus a day.
No. Because these Utah people are addicted to soda. We got to get.
Yeah, we
Jimmy,
have-
gosh, I don't know what the hell's wrong with that computer. I want to pull up those people that are addicted to soda. Maybe you can pull it up.
We have soda shop. We have soda bars where you go to hang out and drink soda.
Brandon's an expert. No, we're going to get into soda, but we have to talk about dieting, guys. Are you a yo-yo dieter? You diet, lose weight, but gain it all back, plus a few extra pounds. Then later, you lose it, regain it, again and again and again. And guys, it's dangerous. Studies show that it can increase your risk of heart attack, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and other health problems. Breaking free of your yo-yo diet pattern is a main reason doctors created Lean. Lean is a supplement, not an injection, and you don't need a prescription. The science behind Lean is impressive. Its studied natural ingredients target weight loss in 3 powerful ways. Lean helps maintain healthy blood sugar, it helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting fat into energy. Listen, if you're tired of losing weight and gaining it back, and if you want to lose it in a meaningful way, do it today. Lean was created for you. Let me get you started with 20% off when you enter Alex20 at takelean.com. That's code Alex20 at takelean.com. Now, how do you stay lean? You're in good shape. Shane, what is your workout?
I just go to the gym and lift heavy weights.
So you do lift a lot.
Yeah.
So you are an exercise guy.
I am.
But that's why you drink the diet soda. Can we go back to that? Why in Utah are in this soda culture? And I get it that Mormonism, they're not alcohol, but they don't drink the alcohol, so they kind of replace it and the coffee. But is the sugary soda, like, you don't get a buzz from it, right? So why does it have such a cultural phenomenon behind it?
I just think that people like to get together and drink a drink. And Utah was like, okay, no coffee. And then they were like, no hot chocolate. I think there's no hot drinks.
There's no hot drinks.
Yeah, they're cold boys. They're all iced.
All iced.
So this is what I think happened. And then they were like, well, let's hang out and drink a soda pop. That's great. And they just loved it. And people kept doing it. And I think they could have drank tea, but they're like, nah, tea is gay.
Tea is
So
gay.
they were
And
like,
to be
"We
fair,
drink
tea is in
soda."
little bags, like a ball bag, like a ball sack.
So
and,
real.
And but the soda, as I was watching this one video, and I should pull it up, but I'm not going to pull it up. They were at one of these soda bars, and the line was around the block for the soda, and they said it was just the lunch rush. But I'm saying these people weren't drinking soda; they were drinking soda by themselves. So it's
Dude.
fun, not just a social thing. Everybody's addicted to soda in Utah.
Have you ever had a perfect soda? Have you ever had that Coke Zero where you're like, yo, this is the perfect temperature and the bubbles are perfect?
At McDonald's sometimes. Now a lot of the
Yes.
McDonald's have gone downhill, but
They
there used
have.
to be a time where you could get a McDonald's Sprite or McDonald's Diet Coke or whatever your choice was. And
Spicy.
it was exactly right. It had the perfect crispness and combination of carbonation that it was perfect.
So imagine going to a place where it's even better than that.
Is it that good, Brandon?
It's that good.
And they got coconut syrups and all the syrup.
Oh, they have all the syrups, all the different types of ice. You want shaved? Do you want pebble? Do you want cube?
Let's go over the ice real quick. What is the best ice?
Pebble.
That's what they say, the little rocks.
The little rocks, yeah.
And
the
the ice-
straw moves right through them. They keep I feel like they do the best.
Oh, I didn't even
Fun to
think,
eat?
I didn't even think about that's why it's good because the straw goes through them. Because people rank the ice. I just saw a clip. I forget whose podcast they were talking about damn ice. It was guys, who is the guy that does the David Dobrik? David Dobrik. They were talking about ice. I believe it was his podcast. I don't even watch his podcast. It was
Yeah,
linked to me.
Ice tier list, Pebble, Ice, the organization that works in America.
Yeah, kicking out
and
the
Cubed
immigrants.
Ice, yeah. But Pebble Ice is more important than the immigrant thing.
Well, and I don't want to get you canceled. Where are you politically? Because you are a unique guy. You're not a cracked out comedian. A lot of these comedians, I'll be honest, sex offenders on crack. Not all of them, a lot of them beating up people. Right, Jimmy? There's just a local Dallas comedian beating up his girlfriend. Don't want to get into it, but I'm just saying, you hear that story a lot.
Comedians are mentally unwell. We're always taking our own lives.
That's
you
a lot
know,
of suicide.
Doing drugs, promoting degeneracy. No, so I used to be one of these people, and I am no longer.
Wait, during your career, when you were
Yes.
29, so when you started out doing mics, you would go and get you'd be like, fucked
I
up.
wasn't doing drugs or anything, but I was like, trying to sleep with women, being gross, hanging out with idiots, saying like, debaucherous and doing debaucherous things. I wasn't necessarily doing substances, but there's plenty of stupid things you can get up to.
Oh, of course, without just doing drugs. But I'm just saying, when you
yeah.
started off, so you weren't, you didn't have a moral compass that like you have today.
100%.
Yeah.
I was like a product of the sexual revolution, as they might
And
say.
did you sleep with a lot of women?
I mean, I tried for sure.
You did?
Yeah. I mean, I had a life for sure. You're a guy who goes on stage. People are gonna want to sleep with you.
I know.
You're gonna get attention. Just attention from
I know.
women
They
is
all
bad
want to
for you.
sleep with me too. I know a lot of you ladies out there. I'm sorry.
love you.
I'm a one-lady man. My girl prepaid wireless, but trust me, they want to sleep with me. Hell, I'm ripping off my clothes half the time. But yes, it's a struggle I have to deal with, and you deal with it too. But you did give in, or you didn't give in, and did you have any weird encounters? Did you ever all of a sudden you go to a girl's hotel room, then her husband's in the closet, like watching the whole time and filming it for their OnlyFans?
That is something that happens all the time.
Yes.
When you're popular online, people message you and they're like, "Do you want to sleep with my wife?" That is a regular occurrence.
You've never done it?
No.
What's
Absolutely.
the point of being a pseudo-celebrity if you've never done that?
So I asked myself the same question. I was like, I'm not even sleeping with these people's wives. What is my plan? Like, what is this all about?
I know. What is the whole point of even doing it? I would think you should
Exactly.
go back to working in the factory. You
That's
know what I
right,
mean? If you're not
no.
going to bang people's wives, what is even the point of the whole
So I decided to not do that. And then I went a different way with it. Now, I'm Catholic.
Okay.
And so, Catholics in the political space are distrusted. First Catholic president, they blew his head off.
You like Pope Leo?
So far, so good.
Yeah, he seems like he's okay. So the first Catholic president, JFK, they blew his brains.
Second Catholic president, zombie.
Biden. Duh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the first pro-abortion Catholic, and that's what really loses
Can't
me.
be those two things.
No, you
So he's not. That's going to hell territory.
Yeah.
So I don't want to. Obviously, I can't make interjections about where anyone's soul goes when they die. That's
true.
not my place. But Biden, he should get right with the Lord, considering how sick he is and how not good at being Catholic he was.
I know he has cancer. Did you think he'd be like all about trying to save unborn lives and be
Right.
doubling down? He should be taking selfies with Pope Leo instead of Barack Obama, who's probably a homosexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he needs to go get more Catholic, Catholicized, I guess.
Right. Him and Pelosi are both technically Catholic or something, and
Well,
so
she drinks a lot, so she is Catholic.
Yeah, they have, some of them have problems with that. Anyway, so Catholic, I'm not, when people are like, what are your politics? Well, I used to have politics forever, but now I'm Catholic. My politics are Catholic social teaching, so I fall neither into the conservative or liberal camp.
I like that. that.
Yeah.
That's
But I
kinda...
will say that the conservatives often have more Catholic things about them than not, and also the abortion thing is pretty tough.
Well, when it comes down to it, first of all, we have a uniparty. The illusion that we have a lot of choice. Both sides are really, in on it. If you really look at it, they're, behind closed doors, they're all making handshake deals and selling us out any chance that they get. But there is one party that believes in the existence of God, and there's one party that thinks we evolved from pond scum. The liberals think that literally everything came from nothing, and that just two rocks smashed together, and everything came from the Big Bang. And you have conservatives, whether you like their politics or not, they at least tend to generally at least believe in the creator. So I think, even though you probably don't 100% align with either party, you probably more align with conservatives because they actually believe in God, right?
Yeah, also they're funnier.
Is that true, though? Because
No, well, conservative people might not be funnier. On average, well, I think in life they are. In entertainment, maybe not. But Trump is the funniest president.
Trump's the funniest guy ever.
By a long shot.
But Shane, everybody's like, oh, Alex Stein, you're not funny. You have a lot of followers. You're a conservative comedian. So you suck because you're a conservative. And I'm like, I'm not even I'm more conservative than liberal. But my point is, I thought it'd be easier because I'm talking about politics. It's kind of not. People don't think you're funny if you're talking about politics.
Well, the problem with most people who consume comedy is that they are liberal, and then liberal people think that you're a conservative comedian because they don't understand that you're just being authentically yourself.
Yeah.
Doing comedy about what interests you and what your life is about. And so they're like, you're a conservative, instead of just understanding that you're a comedian who is just saying something different
that
from
has
what
some
they say.
that has some conservative views, because really I believe in socialized healthcare. There's some views that I have that are pretty libtarded, to say the least. Okay, now you're a guy that's been in the game since you're 29. You had to be. I was surprised, and this is no disrespect. I love Tony. He puts in a lot of hard work, but can you believe Kill Tony is the #1 show?
No, I can't.
I mean, isn't that crazy how it's an open mic like that? And not disrespecting it. I love the success. I've had friends on it. It's a super popular show. But as a comedian, you've been in the game long enough to know when Tony was, a small.
I opened for Tony one of the very first times he ever headlined at a club outside of LA.
So you've known him for the first time since he was touring?
Yeah, I've known him for a long time. I saw him open for Rogan when I was an open micer.
There you go.
Yeah, so I've known Tony for a long time. His success is crazy. He's
like the top comedian in the game right now, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying that like as a disrespect. I'm just surprised, Tony, that the show is the #1 show. It's on Netflix. I'm not saying
a
that
cultural phenomenon.
It is.
Here's the deal with this. Yeah. Tony is popular for the same reason Matt Rife is popular.
Well, okay, I want to hear your answer because I know you're a smart guy. But Matt Rife, I think, is kind of like the good-looking guy. Tony doesn't have this.
But you're right. That Matt is part of his popularity is these good-looking women are like, wow, I like his chin job or whatever.
Yeah.
Or what? I don't know. Is it natural?
He does have a chin job. Well,
I like to talk trash because he's so handsome, and I don't like that, and so I'm very angry.
Yeah, F you, Matt.
Yeah,
Chin
dude.
job. Yeah.
In any case, so Matt does the same thing Tony does, which is to involve people in the show. Matt's whole deal is crowd work, right?
Yeah.
And what do people like more than comedy? Themselves.
Okay.
Our society is sick and full of these narcissistic maniacs. And so Kill Tony is a show where you watch people and you can go as an observer of comedy, shit, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that better than this guy. That could be me. This is an attainable fantasy, and it makes you want to watch. The same way Matt does crowd work all the time, and girls are like, oh my, I'm going to be the main character of the show. Yeah. I'm the main character of the comedy show. He talked to me. And that feeds into their fantasy where they're the main character because everyone's doing the ego drama.
No, but you're right. And I've heard a lot of comics, because, we do a lot of these roast battles, and a lot of the roast battlers are open micers. They do book shows that are coming up. But a lot of them are like, I started doing comedy because of Kill Tony, because people think that the barriers to entry are much less when you can just get your name pulled out of a bucket, and if you're like retarded, you can become a superstar,
100%. It's crazy, and multiple people have had their careers launched on Kill Tony.
Oh yeah, and there's been some really funny people too. Like Casey Rocket is a brilliant guy. I watch his clips. I laugh. So it's not everybody that just gets famous on Kill Tony because they have an affliction, but that is part of it. Like if you are afflicted, you have a good chance of breaking loose.
Any show that starts breaking 1 million monthly listeners, or like a lot of listeners,
they're breaking millions per episode.
That's what I mean to say. It gets to the America's Got Talent thing where they're like, okay, so you can do comedy, but what's your disability?
Exactly right.
You have to have a story.
You have to have a story, and that's why, I don't know if you know Sam Comroe, but you live there, and then who's the other guy? Drew Lynch. I love Drew Lynch.
Drew Lynch is great.
Drew Lynch is hilarious, but the reason why Drew Lynch got there, and I would say this to Drew, and I know Drew, he had that affliction, He is funny, but because you're right, like America's Got Talent, we have a bunch of funny people. You need to have that affliction that makes you different.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, it sounds like I'm just talking shit, but I have an affliction too. I'm a weird-looking guy.
Oh my God!
No, it's true. It makes me stand out. So then
it does make you stand out. It does make you stand out.
Now I have the opportunity to be funny, but I got your attention by accidentally doing something I didn't mean to, which is just to be so weird that you're like, what is this guy even going to say?
So you made yourself retarded with tattoos.
Exactly. Well, I would like to say that I was always retarded in the first place, but, I like that when my insides match my outsides.
I love that too. All right, now let's... Wait, Jimmy, you were just in my ear. What did you say about his Dos Equis tattoo?
Yeah, it looks like a Dos Equis logo.
He just said he doesn't.
3 X's.
Oh, I only saw 2. I was
Dude,
confused.
I'm a huge Vin Diesel guy. I love that movie.
I actually do love Fast and Furious.
Triple X is what I'm referencing.
Is that Triple X? Is that the third one? Which one is that one?
Oh, Triple X is a standalone movie where Vin Diesel is a
Triple X,
sports star secret agent, and he has Triple X's tattooed on him.
That was a good one, actually. Triple X.
Yeah.
That was it. But was that part of the Fast and Furious franchise?
No, it was
totally
not.
different.
It just feels like it is because the
characters are so similar. Yeah. All right, let's play shot number 4.
All my brothers are jacked, dude. If one of them, like my brother, takes his shirt off, abs. A woman's gonna come out of nowhere and be like, I should start a life with this guy. If I take my shirt off, a dude will pop up out of nowhere and be like, do you want to play Magic the Gathering with me? Yeah. And I have to be like, yes, I do.
Actually, I don't like that joke. One of my best friends, Tim Pool, has one of the largest Magic the Gathering card collections in the world. So,
does he really?
Yes, he does. So you're insinuating that Magic the Gathering's for nerds, and it's not. And Tim Pool's not a nerd. He's the king of the world, and he's a personal hero. And he does. He has a Magic the Gathering collection. They told me, and this is funny. This is why Tim and I are good friends. But I remember, Tim and I were on his podcast. We were arguing about something, not a real argument, but disagreeing on something. And then, after the show, we were kind of, not heated, I don't know how to explain it. We were just talking about something. Then the show's over. And then, and it felt like we were little kids again. We go into his room and we're talking about something. We just kind of had this heated thing. He's like, Alex, I want to show you something. I'm like, okay. We walk back in the studio. And there's, no context. And this shows you why Tim is an adult, but he's kind of a little kid. And he pulls out this magic set. And he shows you this card. He goes, you see this card?
The Black Lotus?
It was whatever. He goes, this is one of 5 cards. He goes, this card is worth $100,000. Yeah, I know. And because somehow we were arguing, but I just felt like such a nerd because, hey, well, this is the other thing I didn't say. Tim had to sit on the ground to get the card.
Yeah, of course he did.
Sit on the ground. He's sitting on the ground getting the card. He's like, this card's worth $100,000. And I'm like, why is it on the ground in a shitty box? But yeah, so we love Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering is a badass. All badasses play Magic the Gathering.
I play Magic the Gathering.
Okay, good. Thank God.
I do. I had a Magic shirt on in that clip. I'm a huge nerd for real.
You are, obviously.
Dude, the amount of, I don't know Tim Pool. I used to have...
I got to get you on his show. If you like Magic, he would love you.
Here's the thing about Tim is, so I used to have, 4 or 5 years ago, I used to have a show on Gas Digital that was for liberals.
Lewis,
yeah. And I love Lewis. I had a show where I was I did leftist politics.
Okay.
And of course, I've changed as a person since then in a lot of ways. God is crazy like that. But when I was doing that show, obviously Tim Pool's like the enemy.
Yeah, of course he is.
the
Yeah.
guy.
So
And
you
we
would
all
go
gotta
against
make fun
Tim?
of him.
Oh, good. I
Tim,
want to hear this.
Your
So,
beanie, you're
everybody
gay.
calls him his
They're
beanie,
so
his
mad
gay
at him
beanie.
about
That's
it.
what they all say. He'd actually.
He's a guy who likes beanie, who cares? But people used to be like, dude, because I skate, I rollerblade, I
He
surf,
loves skating.
I play Magic the Gathering, I do Warhammer. So like, I like
Warhammer, he loves that stupid
No,
game.
I know,
Are you
so people
kidding?
would
He's
be
like,
like,
shut the fuck up. She's my language. She's like, Alex, you want to play this game? I go, I don't game. You know, Tim and I, to see Tim, this is the other thing. I'm just roasting Tim right now. Tim is half Asian, so he loves to gamble. That's his favorite.
No
He
way.
doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything
Bad.
like, bad. But, if there's a blackjack table, or there's a poker table, he loves to play poker. He'll sit and play poker. So he likes me because I'll go gamble with him.
I'm imagining Tim wearing only his beanie and a pair of underwear just at a crowded mahjong table, chain smoking cigarettes. just gambling.
He would be on a mahjong table, like in his underwear, but he wouldn't smoke a cigarette. Tim is so anal about cigarettes. That's his one thing, too. Tim's like, it smells like cigarettes, ew. And I'm like, I love those smell of cigarettes. That's the one thing that Tim and I disagree on. He can't stand a cigarette. Like, he's one of those guys, it's like, he smells a cigarette, he gets grossed out by it.
You can't like Latina women and then also have an aversion to cigarettes.
No way.
Those two things do not go together.
The Latinos are the ones that steal the cigarettes, and we can sell them, on the street for half the price. Okay, now, this clip is crazy. You were talking about how you were kind of libtarded, or, lefty. I just use that word.
Right.
And then now you're not, full MAGA by any means, but you've kind of changed. You've come to Jesus, literally. And, but whether, and I'm not, people accuse me of being anti-LGBTQ. Obviously, that's not true. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I can't be anti-LGBTQ. I have gay pride. You know what I mean? If you like the Cowboys, you're obviously gay. But when it comes to gays, I don't mind gays. Gay family members, gay friends, obviously. I'm not anti-gay. I believe gay people obviously deserve the right to exist. And even trans people as adults are okay. But don't you think some of this trans stuff has gotten a little much?
You don't think we jumped the shark by having dudes, like trans people,
Compete
slam
against-
dunking on girls and stuff?
I know, we really, really have jumped the shark. But, I would have thought this is possible that there's going to be men that take shortcuts in order to compete against women, because we haven't had it the other way. We haven't had women that are, identifying as men dominating men's sports. That's not happened.
No one cares about that.
No.
And in fact, come on in.
Yeah,
Because the men's category is not the men's category, it's the open category.
well, they should have a third category, though, right?
You can play in the NBA no matter what gender. It's not gendered. The WNBA happens to be gendered, but the other stuff is open.
Yeah, if you're a girl, you could play in the NFL if you could kick the ball good enough.
And everyone is quick to forget that when we're young, boys and girls do play with each other before puberty happens.
And the girls are usually stronger.
Girls are stronger. When you're playing soccer or Pop Warner football, there's that girl, and she was trucking people.
Mm-hmm.
But then you hit 13, you have that one crazy summer where you see that hair, and then you see anime boobs or whatever awakens the devil inside you. And now, if a woman tries to play football with you, you'll kill her.
Yeah, you will. And
So-
there's huge biological differences, and we try to deny those differences, and I think it's just ridiculous. Like telling a child they're born in the wrong body. I don't think that there could be anything almost more cruel than that.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I think that as someone who got tattooed when I was 14 and should not have done that.
No, but when you grew up in a gang, it's a little
Right.
different.
Well, and that was the thing. I thought that this was my destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone I know is into this kind of stuff. Why would I ever regret this? This is my whole world.
Yeah, nobody's going to judge me. This is who, anybody that judged me would judge us positively.
Right. The reality is that your world growing up and how you see things is very small, and you need to grow up and leave the nest, and you see the world is very big. Oh, thank God I didn't make any permanent decisions before I saw the rest of the world.
Well, it's funny, though, because you talk about the 14-year-old getting the tattoo, and we don't let the 14-year-olds get tattoos in this modern era, but we'll let a 14-year-old get a mastectomy or let a 14-year-old start taking hormones that, block their puberty. So it's crazy how you made those decisions, and now you kind of maybe regret them a little bit. These are permanent decisions that you probably shouldn't have made at that young of an age, and it has serious repercussions. But this is what makes me sick, is people like this guy we're about to show. This is Lily Tino. Now, Lily Tino is the new Dylan Mulvaney. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dylan Mulvaney.
I am familiar with Dylan.
Okay, so this is like the Dylan. This is like Timu Dylan. This is the Wish Dylan. And this person is going around to Disneyland, and what they do is they're famous for going to restaurants and live streaming their meal, and they constantly catch the server using the wrong pronoun.
So it's like an evil mukbang.
It is basically an evil mukbang.
Okay.
It's a mukbang trap where like they go to these things.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
A mukbang trap.
It is a trap.
Okay,
Like
I
that.
got
See,
you.
It is literally a trans trap. But this person goes to Disneyland and they eat at these restaurants and they're basically trying to clip farm clips of the servers misgendering them or using the wrong pronouns. And then they get all mad and they're like, I don't want this bread tower. I don't want this,
That's
ceviche.
imagine making minimum wage. You work at Disneyland. People are mean to you all the time.
Every day.
Evil, even. And you're just trying to make it. And then you get to the table and you're like, do I just guess? And you're trying to be polite and and then this person just wants to cancel you for making minimum wage as a food slave.
Handing them bread. Like literally the one clip that went viral is a person hands them bread. They're like, here you go, sir. And they're like, it's ma'am. And the person doesn't even know how to react. They're like, I'm sorry, sir. And they don't even.
You work at Disney. You know that they only work at Disney. They have to drive to Disney, check in. Like, there's so much more work to work at Disney than normal and to make less money. They only work there because they love Disney and they're full of childlike wonder. It's the only reason someone works at Disney, because it's a hell place. So they literally just want people to be happy.
Exactly right. Like
That's all they want.
And this person takes it as if, even if the person misgendered them, as if they were doing this viciously or maliciously trying to misgender them when it wasn't just an accident because they look like a freak and they don't know what their gender is. So let's play SOT number 6. This is Lily Tino at Disney ranking the bathrooms. Absolutely gross. This is Libtards in the Wild. Okay, so this is ranking every bathroom. This is an 8 out of 10. Jimmy, wait, slow it down. I can't read that. Why is this one an 8 out of 10?
This was the first time using a women's room at Disney, so I was nervous, but thankfully nobody looked at me weird.
So she's going to upload every poop that she does, or they do, or he does.
2 out of 10. Got misgendered right before this pick, so the vibe was off.
I can't see this person clearly.
You gotta.
They don't look.
Shayne, they look like a guy. I'll just say that much. LARPing as a woman. Okay, pause
10
it.
out of 10. Got complimented on my fit, and there was no line for a stall.
Lily Tino is so full of crap. Nobody complimented that fit, unless they were being sarcastic. I mean, and which is a strong possibility, but.
Are they wearing ears?
Epcot, 7 out of 10.
Those are cat ears. Time out. These are different outfits, so these are all different days. This wasn't even the same day.
So wait, they're not going mouse ears, they're going cat ears.
No, those might be mouse
Those are
ears.
Pride mouse.
Those are
Okay.
Pride mouse. And this is 7 out of 10. Someone smiled at me on their way out, which felt good.
Oh, dude, imagine living in a world of pain so crazy that you're at Disney and just a smile is what you need. Like, you're at the happiest place on earth, big dog.
And
enjoy yourself.
And imagine the person that smiled at them now is contributed to them because you know Lily Tino's probably in the stall jerking off. You know what I mean? Like a total freak. Like, oh my God, that person smiled at me. And then because, a lot of this is a sexual deal. This is not,
Yeah. Especially from the men.
For the men thing,
Yeah.
I get that there are some people that have gender dysphoria and that are seriously confused and really do feel like they're born in the wrong body. I would tell that person if they're anorexic, you wouldn't tell an anorexic person to not continue to eat. Like, I think there's medical intervention where you can, I guess, how do I describe it? You could tell a person that it's okay for them to be mentally ill without cutting off their breasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
or you
there's
could
a level
encourage
to
them
it.
to live in that identity and just accept their thoughts and the reality and kind of live in a space between doing a wholly unique thing.
Well, that's the reason why I really don't like it, because when the adults get the surgeries, they don't have any sexual satisfaction. Like Howard Stern, I used to listen to Howard. Now I don't hardly like him at all, but I used to love him. And he used to he had this doctor, Dr. Sal Calabro, and they would give free breast implants. They would like make them do stuff. Like, they would have to come on and answer trivia questions. And if you got the questions right, you got to get these free breast implants. But oftentimes, Howard would do something different. He'd bring a trans person, a guy, and they'd be like, I'm a trans person. I want to get breasts. And Howard would always ask them, this is the early 2000s, late 90s, after you get the breast, are you going to get bottom surgery? And they would always say, they'd be like, no, I have to go to Venezuela, or I have to go to, Bolivia, because they won't do that here in America. And this was not that long ago. This was less than 20 years ago. You had trans people that were getting free breast implants, like, oh, it's so hard to get the surgery. And now there's a gender reassignment clinic in every single city. And the reason why they used to say, too, when this was in pop culture wasn't as popularized to get the surgery, they would say, oh, I want the surgery, but I won't have any sexual satisfaction. And this is before they would say this when they were not trying to sugarcoat it or anything.
Yeah.
So now these people will tell you, oh, well, I cut off my forearm, then inverted my penis, and now I come like a porn star. You know, I don't know what the hell they'd say, but you know what I mean? And that's not the case. Obviously, you're gonna have no sexual pleasure if you get this surgery done.
Yeah, you're living in a world of pain. Obviously, that's why you're at Disneyland. You've got the thing, you're at the happiest place on earth, and you're like walking around in your head being like, all these people hate me. Every look is about who and what I am. Every smile is an acknowledgement and an acceptance, or every frown is like an attack on me, because they're living in a world where they're the main character. Meanwhile, not one person at Disneyland noticed them, except for one 3-year-old's like, Dad, why does that guy look so weird?
And
that would be it. That no one cares, no one thinks about you. This is like when newbies go to the gym and they think everyone's looking at them.
Yeah.
Dog, no one cares. No one cares or is noticing you. But you're at Disneyland like, I'm the main character. Everyone's thinking about my gender. No, they're not, dude.
No, well, I mean, they look so freaky that people probably are starting to think about questioning gender. They look at that person, but you know, you did make such a good point that anytime a person smiles at that person, they think that it's this person really accepts me.
Oh, yeah.
They just have a frown on their face. You're like, oh, that person wants to kill me and put me in an oven. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
every emotion is a personal attack or a personal endorsement. That's what a mentally ill person feels. Like when you're depressed, when you're super depressed or whatever, that kind of stuff is all heightened, makes you crazy. It's not good.
And then you mix them with a bunch of weird hormones and then Lily Tino, we don't have that clip, but that person had just went to, maybe Jimmy Google it, but they had just gotten back from like Turkey. They went and did medical tourism to get their Adam's apple shaved and their jaw thinned out, and you can't even tell. They did before and after pictures, and they had this really uncomfortable surgery, this Lily Tino. We should have just had a Lily Tino episode, but Lily Tino is absolutely mentally ill, going to those bathrooms and taking pictures. That's a crime in Texas, to take a picture in a bathroom of somebody else. Like if somebody else is in the photo, that's a crime.
That is weird to be in the bathroom taking the photos. It's already uncomfortable, like that you're taking apart your bathroom experience. I don't think about the other dudes in the bathroom. Are you checking people out at the urinal, being like, what's this guy's deal? Does he support what I'm about? Your dick's out and you're peeing? Like, I don't care.
Like, let me get a selfie of your dick, sir.
Yeah, so Lily Tino got face surgery last week, and his face looks exactly the same.
Exactly. The swelling, let the swelling go down. But we just got a $10 super chat from a fan. Me and my husband were so excited to see Shayne on as a guest tonight. We are big fans of both you guys. Sending love from Philly. A-Grog, thank you, A-Grog, for the $10 super chat. You got fans everywhere,
Dude,
Shayne.
I love it.
And now you're going to get new fans because now they're going to think you're like ultra right wing, and so now you're going to be MAGA superstar. No, I'm just kidding when I say that. But real quick, before we're kind of wrapping things up, though, I want to go through a couple things. You're going to be at Plano this weekend at the mic drop. Where else are you going? And kind of tell us, what is on the horizon for Shayne Smith? What should we be looking out, for? What is your project? What is 2026? We're 6 months into the year, and everybody's talking about goals and achievements. What are you going to achieve before 2025 is over that we can be aware of and be on the lookout for?
Okay, so what am I doing? I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I'm possibly filming 2 specials this year.
That's awesome. You're going to do 2 specials. You got enough material for 2 specials?
Yes.
2 45-minute specials?
2 45-minute specials.
That's awesome.
That's correct.
That's awesome.
One is hopefully going to be a collaboration with a popular hardcore band.
Ooh.
So it's going to be like a house show.
Everybody tries to do the everybody tries to do the music comedy. Everybody
No, comedy music.
I mean, but everybody's trying to do comedy music since the beginning of time. The rock and jock. And I'm not saying it doesn't work because I love both. Going to a music concert, I like actually more than going to a stand-up show.
I agree with you there. I agree with you.
I just like to dance and stuff. Because that's just me. I'd like a stand-up show, but really, if you're going to tell me like some Boston band, I'd rather go to a concert. But that's just me personally. So people have been trying to mix that and meld that because people like both, obviously.
Right.
They've never really found the right recipe. What is different about you?
So mine is no mix.
Mix.
I'm just serving 2 separate dishes at the same table. So I'm gonna do comedy, and then the comedy is gonna lead directly into a show. So it's gonna be comedy for people that want to see the show, and then I will also be involved in the music, and there will be moshing, and it's just like a fun concept of like the most fun we can have in a night.
I like
So we're going to laugh, and then we're going to fight each other.
Oh, that's good. The mosh pit is always fun, and you still mosh, even
I
though...
still mosh in my old age, though not very often, because now I'm like, I have man strength. When you're 20, if you like jump off of a stage and kick someone in the head, you're kind of like, oh, we're crazy. Now I'm a grown man. I kick someone. I'm like, I could have killed that person.
Yeah,
like,
and
I'm
go to
like, I gotta
jail
watch
and
out.
stuff, you know. It's just
So I mosh at special occasions. I saw, what band did I see that I moshed at? Kubla Khan. I saw
you
Kubla
were
Khan.
right, you were still moshing at Kubla Khan. Wow,
Yeah. And then who I saw Lamb of God. I moshed, I stage dove and did some things. And then so I come out of mosh retirement sometimes, but also
for your special, you are going to come out there.
yes, for my special. But my special, that show is going to be full of guys my age. It'll be like a bunch of gnarly, like hardcore kids. It'll be maybe filmed in LA. So there's going to be a lot of Latino dudes that are
love
gonna
that.
beat my ass probably.
Good.
And I love those guys. The Latino boys in hardcore are the guys right now. They are still throwing, they're saying the problematic words. They're all about breakdowns and fist fights and all the cool stuff in hardcore.
Are they worried about Trump deporting them?
I think that half of them maybe, and the other half are like, we're citizens. Why would we care?
All right, good. The U.S. citizens, you guys get to stay. Okay, but real quick, because we got one game in Minecraft, and Jimmy's going to sign up to QT to work as a clerk, and then we're going to do the inside job. Oh, actually, real quick, I want you to tell a story. So think about a story, but I ask you 3 tough questions. Okay, first question. The terror attacks on September 11, 2001, were they perpetrated by people within the United States government?
No, they were perpetrated by Israel.
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, that was hardcore. Well, that...
Sorry, I don't know.
Clip that.
Little dancing Israelis
No
and
comment.
get back to
I have
me.
no comment on that. Second thing, were the moon landing 1969 through 1972 Apollo moon missions, were they real or fake?
I don't know if people actually physically landed on the moon, but I think we've got equipment up there.
Oh, so
somewhere in the middle. I don't know.
somewhere in the middle, but you don't
I
think
think
that Neil Armstrong was out there with it playing golf and driving around?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I like that. Okay, shape of the Earth, round or flat?
Round.
Okay, good. We like that.
yeah.
All right, so that, hey, we definitely got canceled for that one, Jimmy.
Sorry,
We should not have
everybody,
said
my
that.
bad.
We just want to say L'chaim, L'hoi, Shalom, peace be with you. The Old Testament is my favorite book.
you go.
The Old Testament is the best testament. All right, I think we're fine. Okay, wait, there's one last thing. Now, Gang Story, you told us that other one. That was so good. I know you have another kind of like inside baseball thing. Can you tell us, because you grew up on a motorcycle gang. A lot of people don't realize this is different than a normal street gang. There's a little more rules to it, a little more organization, because they're white. But that's neither here nor there. There are some black biker gangs, but give us another like
honorary Aryans are also in the motorcycle club. So Latinos, people like this.
They are?
They're honorary Aryans, yes. If you
Latino. See, I didn't know this. I didn't
look
see
up Aryan Mexico and you'll see some there's a lot of
light-skinned Mexican dudes.
there's a lot of Mexican dudes who are still very aware that Mexico didn't take sides during World War II for a very specific
Oh yeah, we know there's German.
Well,
German ones.
wasn't Mexico a part of the Austrian kingdom for a while? Didn't the king of Austria live in Mexico?
I don't know history that well, but I know Operation Paperclip, that we brought over the top Nazis, and that
Yes.
some of those Nazis didn't get brought over to America. They ran away to Venezuela. And
Yeah,
had
South
kids.
America does pretty
Yeah.
well for itself in terms of Nazis. Anyway, so there are, listen, being Latino does not disqualify you from being a Nazi. We all know that for sure nowadays.
Nick Fuentes, shout out Nick Fuentes, Mexican Nazi. Love
There
that
you
guy.
go. And so, yeah, so they're Latino, but inside baseball, what do you mean here? What are we talking?
Well, I'm saying, like, hey, you just give us that real quick inside baseball, how, like, oh, you can kind of do the inside job. Like, what is another kind of, like, not just selling drugs, and the show's almost over, but kind of, I just really like that story. I want to get another kind of clip. Like, what's something different about that lifestyle that you don't know, like, to make money or do something, you know? Like,
Oh, I mean,
it's kind of like another thing. Like, I like that inside job story, that one of the crimes you might commit in Minecraft is that you know the clerk at the gas station. Like, is there anything, and
I mean, there's like stuff that is just like obvious if you stop and think about it. Like, you don't do crimes in your own city. Another club is in, like, let's say, like, hypothetically, one club is in, we'll say, Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
And another club is hypothetically, let's say, in Salt Lake City, Utah. And so the Phoenix guys need work, and so you come from Salt Lake to do the work in Phoenix so that you can then leave that place. And then when the Phoenix guys, you need a favor, you go, hey, I did that job for you. Can you come over here and do this job for me? And now you're hands off. So if you have, like, let's say, problems with another club or maybe a street gang that you don't like and they're not paying the club its dues or whatever, then you have the boys from Phoenix who are involved. They come up and they take care of these guys for you. You give them the information. They have dogs. This is when they sleep. This is who hangs out at their house. And they come take care of that, and then they leave. And then that's kind of how the ecosystem of motorcycle clubs, you know, works and keeps each other from getting in trouble.
And I like that because I used to watch The Sopranos. I watched every episode of The Sopranos multiple times. And what they would do when they needed a really big hit, like when there's a really important person that they had to hit, that the cops would get involved and that there'd be, you know, a big paper trail, they would get somebody from Italy or some from, you know, like Turkey or somebody. You know, they would get a foreign person to go do the hit.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. This is kind of just a different version of that. You know, go commit crimes in a state that you don't have a paper trail in. So, wow, we've learned a lot. We've learned how to commit fraud in Minecraft. We've learned we learned about Shayne's transition from an ungodly heathen to a man that respects the Lord Jesus Christ as our Savior, which I respect 100%. So, Shayne, kind of as we wrap things up, kind of tell the people where can they find you, how can they support you, and you know what message you want to leave them with before we go.
Okay, so ShayneSmithComedy.com. I'm on tour all year. You can come see me. I'm going to be filming specials, one in Utah, one probably in LA. So look out for all that. I'm going to be in Australia.
Oh, we love Australia.
fans?
Sky News. I'm a huge Australia.
Really?
I'm a big Australia fan. Rita Panahy. I'm big in Australia, believe it or not. I'm bigger in Australia than in America. Debatably.
We don't have time to get into it, but I was banned from Australia for almost a year, but I'm allowed back.
Wait, we don't have much time. Why did you get banned? What did you do? Did you not take the vaccine?
No, I was Catholic and conservative. That was enough for them to try to stop me. I'm not joking. It's a whole thing.
Shayne, you're well known. I'm not going to say you're a nobody. You're not a nobody, but
100%.
But you're big enough where they're like, oh, because he's a cat. I mean,
no, because we used to have a different president, and he put what he called traditional Catholics on something that we'll call the FBI watch list.
No.
And then that group shared that information to a lot of people, and so certain people like Candace Owens, me, and a bunch of other.
You were on that list. I know Candace on that list.
I was on
that list.
Yes, I was on that list.
I'm trying to get on that list. They're like inviting me. Sky News invited me to Australia. I mean, they're open arms, and I'm controversial. This guy is a Christian. He doesn't even want to say anything bad. He's not allowed to go.
So real. Anyway, so they got really mad at me, and they made me. I had to write multiple letters, and there was litigation, and I was supposed to go last year. If you go look, you can see I posted about coming to Australia. Tour was canceled. It took from before August of last year till literally I got unbanned a week ago.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm going to Australia. Check me out there. That'll be a good time.
Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, where else?
Perth, Sydney, Melbourne. Those are the only three. Yeah, I'm just going to do those, and then I'm going to go surf probably, so that'll be a good time. And yeah, and that's it. And then what message do I want to leave you with? Jesus Christ is King.
We love it. Christ is King. Don't be afraid to say it. All right, guys, that's been our show. Tomorrow night, what do we have on the show tomorrow night, Jimmy?
We got on Stuttering Craig tomorrow.
Stuttering Craig, but don't we have somebody calling in that's important?
Oh, yeah. Joe Exotic's recently deported husband.
Husband, yes, his gay Latino husband, Twinkie
Speaks zero
Twink.
English, apparently.
Twinkie Gonzalez is coming on here to tell us all about Joe Exotic's grundle sack. Oh my God, that's gross. Why did I just say that?
What a way to celebrate Pride Month.
We're going to be celebrating it, all right. We're going to be celebrating it with Joe Exotic's lover. I can't wait. No better person I would rather celebrate it with Joe Exotic, but his lover, his gay lover, is, it's a good consolation prize. All right, guys, we end the show the same way. Every time with a freestyle finale. So DJ, hit that beat! Yo!
Oh my.
I'm vaping in your face. Do it for the human race. This whole month you get a dick in your face.